Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with the look at the current version of Black Ice for Hearts of Iron 4. But before we get into that, I want to thank Tim, Strongarm, Niagro, Timothy, Sir Toyjet, Gary, Garrett, Marcus, and Folk, and of course the great Hoffmanator for support over on Patreon. But everybody else, you just hit the like button, maybe post a comment, and yeah, if you're new around here, love to have you subscribe to the channel. But that's all I ask anybody to do, is just to like and comment, really. Okay, well, do we have a decision that we want to take here? Form the 1st Cavalry Division. Yeah, we'll do that, which will form up here. Okay, we're just... where, this is where we have anti-air. We don't have any down here, but we're going to wait for events. Now we're going to come, instead of looking at what we need, we're going to come over here and just get more fighters. Put us. We just got efficient aluminum extraction. That was here. So energy cost is down and bauxite needed is down for aluminum, as opposed to the other option was much more output, +3 output per aluminum factory, but a lot more bauxite and energy, which might have been the choice, but I am still not sure on energy balance. Full input, synthetic fuel, energy down, costs there. Let's go with that. Have a healthier population. Now, back over here under the trade, which is where we also deal with production. Bauxite. Okay, let's... We're under iron, we need to be over under bauxite. Okay, yes, that's what I was looking for. So let's get another factory's worth here. There we go. That should put us in the positive for it. Okay, December, improved oil plants. But remember, in December, I wanted to come over here and do limited mobilization starting now, because it's going to take 30 days. So we're going to do limited mobilization during the winter here. And I forget what it was we just got, but it was an industrial one here. Search those. Okay, looks like, well, really not doing much shipyard stuff. Okay, let's see if, okay, so we have approximately, well, 49 spare engine plants. We have spare, yeah, I guess 84. Why is it 53? I don't understand that, but okay. 84 spare artillery plants, 30 spare tank production plants over our needs, 113 spare aircraft plants, and 30 spare um, shipyards for our needs capability. So our point of failure, it looks like, is tanks. So if we come over here, because aircraft and tanks, I believe, and trucks, but at least trucks and tanks all need engine workshops. But we're closest here is the tank, so we're going to do the tank. It's not a bad idea to sell off the older stuff, Arno. I'm just a bit more worried about, attrition with equipment. So I'm going to keep it around. Until I know better, I'm going to keep it around. Improved worker safety. Anti-tank upgrades. Okay. So we have safer workers. Well, now I think we will do improvement there. And this one thing is building more radars would be good. Well, going back and forth on a lot of this. Okay. Well, the one we just did get was anti-tank upgrade. Oh, well, that maybe I should then do the 150 millimeter, or not 150, 50 millimeter gun. Yeah, that's a good one to do. Even the oldest rifles. Well, okay, improved motorization. That's nice. Well, let's look, Arno. I mean, you have a good point, but okay. Well, we only have 30,000 or 35,000 extra rifles. Mostly on a carabiner 98Ks, 8,000 on 22,000 VZ24s. Those are Czech Mausers. Yeah. These are pretty current weapons. We don't have a lot of old stuff. The VZ24 is an interwar, so it's a very similar. It's not a parts interchangeable Mauser, meaning you can't just take a part off the VZ24 and stick it on a carabiner 98K. But they both use the same ammo, and it's the same basic training manual and same basic cleaning procedure and whatnot. So, not a lot. Okay, the Gewehr 95, those would be old, but there's only 2,400 of those. Now, what would actually be a huge number around, especially if you have the 98Ks, would be Gewehr 98s. They had hundreds of thousands of those. So, yeah. Okay, so We got improved motorization, which gets up those more factories. And we're getting close to the war. That'll get us another naval dockyard, but we're really sort of ignoring the navies considerably. Okay. Let's go with 56 days. Yeah, let's try to get this going. Oh, we've almost caught up on horse transport. How nice. The slow grind. Yeah. Let's do medium artillery. It's in here somewhere. We have two more. Okay, well. Get some more 110s in production. So far, we're doing pretty good on supply. The 1939 Erzincan earthquake. Don't know in Turkey. Okay. Earthquake in Turkey. Small treaty. Italy. Good. Okay, we have add a unit and add a unit. There's Osa. And we have the Condor. That is cool. So we are almost, well, we are actually in 1940. We could do better heavy fighters. We just got the Condor transport, but I think we're going to come over here and do the Condor naval bomber, which will give us a long-range naval bomber. Are we at war or something? Where are we getting this notification? Okay, well, What increase Panzer force? We need more steel now. Okay. It's raining outside. My God, it's raining. How are we doing for extra fighters now? Okay, mostly old stuff here. And improved construction. Nice. Is this one? Okay. Railway construction speed, that's really good. Weekly stability, that's very good. Because we're going to be doing things that are going to disrupt our stability. More factories online. I'm going to push it to maybe 90% of power use until I start building more. More power plants. We just added to the Panzer IVs. We're going to add to the Panzer III production. Let's actually overstacked there. You come down to there. What do I care about Nepal? Why would I issue an ultimatum over Nepal? What's our 110? Okay, just 9 extra. Let's, as you can maybe sort of tell, I'm getting ready to battle here in the west with whoever might be opposing us. Truck workshops, yay! Was that one engine workshops, but whatever. Railway construction speed, that would be useful. Let's do transport trucks. What are we doing with? Okay, transport trucks, almost 800 extra. Where are the heavy trucks? They're in here somewhere, heavy transports. Oh, hell. I mean, we just deployed some divisions, but my God. Dockyard space. So did one of the big ships, another one's coming online here. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to keep doing submarines and transports here once we get the last Scharnhorst class. Now, I have not built radar stations. I was thinking about it earlier, but we're coming up and we're going to crush France early, but I guess we should build some internally too, because then I want to stick them along the coast. Let's go with Brandenburg. And up there. Okay. Improved ammo, very nice. Just got that one. Now, if you may wonder why I'm not researching the Kuba wagon. I know I've talked about this before, but not everyone watches my videos, and this is, or all of my videos. And this is one of the complaints that I have about Hearts of Iron in general and Black Ice specifically. What? And in chat here live if you want to participate. We have the Stower 1500. Big four-door vehicle. Looks like it's four-wheel drive. It's definitely an off-road sort of design. You know, it's a four-door, but you can see the doors thing. So it's probably easily accommodates 6 people. Okay. And here, this other Stower M12. Smaller vehicle. Has a little command flag on it there. And so, okay, we're going to go with off-road. Which do you think is, of these three, the 2 Stowers and the VW Kuba wagon, which do you think are the best vehicles for light utility vehicles for World War II? You know, these aren't trucks that are carrying lots of weight. These aren't armored fighting vehicles. These aren't really even reconnaissance vehicles, though they get pressed into it. Really, for the Germans, it's really either motorcycles or armored cars or tanks. But I don't know if Arno or Crispin or anybody else is still out there. Which do you think, which vehicles are best? And if you can put in a why, I would really like to hear that. But pick something here to research. Yeah, we will. Yes, Arno is here, but do you have an opinion of which of those vehicles you think might be best? And why? Okay, he has, all right. You gotta watch these tricky Dutch people. They keep them along order. But why would... No, both are good. Okay. But I was asking which are better. Which is the best of them? I would agree that they're all good. Okay, well... let's do just a universal one so we can look at this. And Arno's right in that they're both good. And here, okay. Why did the Germans use the Kübelwagen and not one of the two stowers? And I can tell you why. And no, I haven't looked at any documents. I don't know the stowers very well. Also, Tatra made some light utility vehicles. Mercedes made some light utility vehicles. Theirs were more off-road staff cars for generals that were... And they were very good, in my understanding. They made like 24 of them or something. They were expensive. And you see these two things? This and this? I think they're better than the Kübelwagen. Now, I'm not absolutely sure, but I think these are better than the Kübelwagen for the assigned roles that they have here. Why? Oh, why did they go for the Kübelwagen here? So, this IC cost of 2.25. Okay. This one earlier, 2.2. Okay, which, and here is 2.3. Why did they do this? Because in reality, this was fucking cheap to make. This is a two-wheel drive, flimsy, lightweight vehicle that you could spam out. So why does it cost more? I don't know, and I don't know if they know. Okay, reliability 60%, reliability 65%. I don't know between these vehicles. And then I get, okay, gamer, look, gamer, no, that's just eye candy, immersion stuff. This is really just improving vehicles over time so they cost more. Gamer, don't ignore the label. No, that is wrong. Ignore the label. If the reason the Germans went to this is because they could build so many more of these so much cheaper, and they were good enough. This is one area where the Germans do the Russian sort of thing, or the American sort of thing. Build cheap and spam out. Cheap, quality that I don't know its reliability compared to other things. And but just you spam them out, and the idea is to have lots of them cheaply. Now, normally Germany is going for the best, trying to get this collector's value. Hi, Beam Slam. Well, probably the stowers probably have high collector's value, but because they're probably a lot rarer. But I don't know, because rarity doesn't necessarily mean value, because there's also demand, how much demand there is. So, and this is, some of the stuff I complain about, some of these going from this to this. The main reason Germany was changing their artillery, the main reason, at least in the 105 millimeter, was simplification of manufacture. There was, because I did look into it, there was one, and it may have been this one, that actually was an ammunition change. It was still a 105, but it was a little more, cartridge behind it for a little bit greater range. But most of the changes, in like the 121 millimeter, 150, they also had a 170 millimeter gun. Most of the changes were manufacture simplification and or making lighter weight, so they're a little easier to handle for the artillery pieces. So instead of going to something that will probably be, okay, we'll look at it here, IC cost 7, IC cost 6.9. It should be going in the other direction, because even when they did up the performance by, I don't know, by like 10%, 15% of range, to increase effective range, they were still simplifying manufacture. And this is not just a black ice problem, but they're not correcting it. This comes from the whole sort of mentality of a lot of these games, is that as you go along, more cost, and you go, well, but gamer, they do more hard attack, more soft attack. Well, maybe they shouldn't, and especially here when I think they're working. Well, why don't they continue to improve Kubelwagen? Why don't you have a 4-wheel drive Kubelwagen and a 4-wheel drive all-wheel articulated, meaning when you turn the front wheels, they turn one way, and the back wheels turn the opposite way, so they're tighter turning, and more and more advanced, more and more better, more and more better, more and more better, more. Well, if you're trying to come here and look, this was basically a training vehicle, but yeah, it would function. It was I don't even know if it was really armored. It was definitely a metal body that was around people, but I literally don't know if it was armored. These early cars, reconnaissance cars, and they kept this in production throughout the war. But they had the 8 rad by the beginning of the war. They also had a 6 rad in here that was sort of a failure. And okay, these are better, more advanced, better fighting vehicles, and they were, as time went on, that you're modeling Germany and its improved wheeled reconnaissance. And so that is very legit coming through the war, that your fighting reconnaissance elements were getting better. And they were. Over time. So some of that stuff, and like we can look at particularly this one, tanks. They were getting, more complicated, more metal, more production time, more advanced, bigger guns. So yeah, and here I think, quite honestly, I have not, and because I partially don't want to delude come in and find out that they're doing, stupid things here. But I'm sort of trusting, maybe I shouldn't be, but that these are an attempt at modeling improvements of tanks compared to other tanks over time. So yes, in this field, you have it takes more resources to make a Panther than it does a Panzer III. I mean, more steel, more rubber, more. And it takes more production time, because the Panther's engines are highly complicated. They are reasonably complicated, but they're also machined a lot to get rid of excess weight. So it takes longer to make them. There's more machining cuts on them. So to have, the volume of compression in the cylinders and all that, to have the horsepower in there, but then trying to reduce the metal down as much as possible to keep it from being an overweight beast, or even more of an overweight beast than it was, so that you do have more complications and more effective fighting power. Absolutely. You do have that there. And here, yeah, then if you're adding in jet engines and you're doing, but even without that, you're doing more and more complications to production, to design elements, and to performance, speed or heavier bomb loads, better reliability. So yes, in tanks and aircraft, yeah, you're right to progressively go down and increase, production cost. And I'm not. These are two different ones, but they 36.7, 36.7 seem to have the same production cost, and maybe they should between these two models. I'm not enough of a aircraft geek, not disrespecting people, but you know what I mean, to go in and know how, what the changes were, because sometimes changes might just be bigger flaps or bigger whatever that don't effectively change in any significant way, material used, extra 3% of aluminum for the aircraft or something, or it's maybe even no additional production costs, but just change some of the, like I say, flaps or sizes of some of the wing, the control surfaces or whatever on it, to make an improvement in, flight performance without being a real an industrial production cost performance. That could be very, very real. I'm not discounting, minor changes there too, but generally speaking, you're going along the lines of more complication, more development, more cost of doing things. So, but when you have stuff that's so clearly like the Kuba wagon, like the artillery, that it was more simple, less. Oh, this is interesting. They have 170 millimeter after that. God, I don't know. Okay, what it means, I'm not particularly just accept return from an intercepted mission over Belgium pesky RAF. Okay. All right. I don't know if you're playing War Thunder or something else, but cool. It looks like we have the border more or less sealed up with those Dutch people here. Yeah, we're getting there. We're in February. We're getting there. We've almost got our alliance set up with Italy, which historically probably should have been a year or two ago, but well. Okay. Alliance with Italy and 50 millimeter gun. Right. Now, oh, well, let's, does that 50 millimeter gun unlock torsion bar suspension? Okay. Let's find torsion bar suspension. Are we researching? I thought we had or were already. Nope, we hadn't. There it is, torsion bar suspension. 21 days. Okay, well, we're doing that now. Economic assistance, Italy will have to wait. Okay, protection zone. What is this? 8 days. German Reich, German Slovakia Treaty. Um, Ribbentrop Pact, 20 days. Okay. And then solution for Danzig, 8 days. So I think we're going to wait till March. So that gives us about 20 to 30 days for some other national focus. Waffen SS expansion, 14 days. That would fit into here. Our time zone, our time frame. No, we're getting closer to war, Arnold. We're getting closer. We get 4 more oil in Lower Austria plus 2 synthetic refineries for 56 days. Okay, that's going to take too long. 28 days. We can do this later. 28 days removes, go to works. Czech Republic gains, go to works, grants, factory output 5% for Germany. Okay, 35 days, 28 days. Okay, 28 days, 32 days. Okay, 28 days for that just about fits in our time frame here. And so now that we've taken our time, we still have, what is template? Okay. Well, let's go systematically down. I want to see all their templates here. Because I don't think they're the same. They're not the same, but that's fine. Just so long as they're divisions and not some sort of lightweight brigade. That's fairly lightweight, but I think it'll do. Okay. Tank workshops, very good. It was that one we just completed there. A year to get those done, so we don't want to start them now. We want to do something a bit more efficient. Research time 39. Okay, submerge arc welding 64 days. Well, production efficiency growth 5%. Tank production capacity 1. Dockyard 1. 1940, we're in wartime steel industry. Okay, what is wartime steel industry? Technology grants the following: organic metals, and artillery production capacity +1 per plant, steel output for each steel plant +1, steel refinery, construction speed 5% faster. Okay. Improved electrical grid, which will get us 3% factory or electricity, but it's a bit more vulnerable. Chemical industry improved. IG Farben, obviously, is the main company. Lack of resource penalty -1%. Overall factory output 3%. Supply in controlled states and core states up 4%. That's nice. Synthetic refinery, construction speed and rubber refinery up 5%. Improved. Okay, so here for 127 days, we'll get per synthetic rubber factory output of +2 and faster production. Up here, indirect coal liquefaction So more fuel. Okay, textile polymers, nylon, and etc. Cost down, maintenance equipment cost down. That's reducing costs down a lot. Okay, that's just because we went the other path. Vacuum sealed foods, food decay down 10%. All right. Well, you know, I think mm, I think this will help us. We'll do that. Here, how is the plan regarding Scandinavia taking Norway? Poorly at the moment. We have Dietl hanging out here in the rather flat area of Kiel with his forces, and I'm wondering what to do with them. I'm thinking it's going to be a post fall of France attack. I'm thinking that. My Norwegian friends want me to invade Norway because otherwise they wouldn't have cool things to talk about World War II. They'd be sort of like Sweden and going, yeah, nothing happened. So it gives them, you know, all this talk that they can talk about. Okay. So we got to keep them happy. Let them have their heroes and their villains. Yeah, I don't think I'm invading Britain. I haven't built up enough of an invasion fleet kind of thing or airborne either way to do that. So I'm not planning on doing a Britain invasion, and so I'm looking at pushing in. Okay. Yeah, we're going to spend 100 points to get that done quickly. And I should have both mountain divisions for doing, you know, I didn't want that. I wanted this. For going after, you know, stuff up in the north, and infantry divisions for going after stuff in the south. That should hopefully be good enough to do that and walk over Denmark. Afghanistan trade. I know these are random, but still. Okay, well, let's see about another. Building radars there and there. These are mostly I'm looking as internal radar. Hmm. Well, want to sort of, because we can, as time goes on, we can make it, add to it and make it bigger and bigger. But right now, obviously, only level 1 over Italy. No, I think we'll go. We'll go straight up here. Well, we're actually positive on horse transport for once. What do you know? We're positive on a lot of things. Okay, well, then I think I want more fighter aircraft to control the skies. That means I need aluminium. Be here. Germany should hand. Oh, there we go. Now we have torsion bar. Over to Denmark.